I'd like to start by saying your name and what you do and a little bit about your background.
My name is Flemming. I'm 46 years old. I have lived in this country for 16 years. I'm a mother with 2 children. I am an interior designer. And right now I'm working in the holistic profession. We run holistic conferences in reflexology, homeopathy, herbalism, and
Why did you change from being an interior designer into holistic medicine?
due to the demand of the clientele. I was living in Hertfordshire, and being a mother, having small children, it would mean I'd be away from home, going into London and traveling through Europe. So I went into that profession so I could be more at home and a hands-on mother.
But any particular interest in the profession? The particular interest in the profession came about why?
I think the question over if your child has a headache and maybe you can only give Calpol every 4 hours, so you look to something else to relieve the symptoms. If they're teething and they're crying all night long and nothing seems to work, you look into homeopathy to alleviate their suffering.
So a sort of certain amount of dissatisfaction with what we call orthodox medicine that led you to look elsewhere, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, and you have a story to tell about yourself.
Yes, I do.
What's that?
About 4 years ago, I slowly started to get migraine headaches. And those headaches became progressively worse and worse and worse, to where I was getting them every 2 weeks for about 5 days. So 10 days out of every 30 days, I was lying down in bed in a dark room. And I would lie there and I would cry because my head would ache so bad. There was no relief. There was no aspirin, there was no pill, there was no massage, there was no anything that could relieve me.
You tried things?
Oh, I tried many things. They have little myogens, they have all kinds of things that you can get from your doctor. They ran all kinds of blood tests to see if it was maybe something hormonal.
Did anything show up?
No, nothing showed up at all. Nothing showed up. And when the doctor would have to come out to give me a shot to stop the urge to vomit, because when that urge would be there with nothing in my stomach for 5 days, it was like my head would split in 2. And my son looked at me and he said, "Mommy, are you going to die?" And when he said that, I thought, well, I'm going to do something, because I'm not going to die. I am going to live. And what I could feel is the headache would come down through here. And I thought, I can feel it in my teeth. I can feel it in my jaw. And so as I have had an interest in alternative approaches to medicine, I started to research that possibly it could be the mercury fillings within my teeth, the amalgam fillings within my teeth. And I guess it was the connecting the pain. The pain would be here, but also through here. So it was quite obvious that it was connected to that. And so even with the research, things were going on, and I started to put on a lot of weight. And as a woman, when your thighs enormously grow, you get a bit concerned. I also started to feel very tired, sad, depressed. I started to have no energy, no love of life. I felt hopeless, almost as if my life, rather than living it, I was going downhill, and I'm young. And that feeling of going downhill, that feeling of hopelessness, that feeling of actually thinking I could be almost diagnosed as being depressed made me feel more and more serious, and then I started to get the heart palpitations. And in the middle of the night, 4 o'clock in the morning, it would just flutter and palpitate. So I went for a series of more tests. And no matter what test I went to with my doctor, they all came out clear. And that's when I came to you. I thought, enough's enough. I want them out. I want it all out. There's a poison in my system, and I can feel that. And that's my story.
But you were diagnosed by...
I went to John Morley,
Yeah.
and I was diagnosed with his method of Renaissance therapy of having mercury poisoning. And also there are tests from my blood, from blood tests from Dr. Calibu, who's a medical doctor, that also had mercury through my system.
Right.
So it was a suspicion, it was a guess, but it was also confirmed in the holistic profession and in the medical profession.
Yeah, but you were given some treatment for various symptoms by your doctor?
By Kitty?
No, by the Orthodox medicine, by your doctor. You went to your GP and you had some...
I was given,
medication.
not really, I was given aspirin, I was given various kinds of migraine drugs, I was asked to do more stress relief, but actually I do meditation every day, so I have done meditation for about 25 years, and I am a vegetarian, I don't smoke, I drink occasionally socially, you know, maybe in a whole year, 10 glasses of wine a year, which is so, and I live in the country. I don't have any financial or marital difficulties to be bringing on stress, plus meditation. So yes, they wanted me to, that was their advice.
Okay. When you came to see me, you reported certain signs and symptoms that you had.
Yeah.
And you said you had itching skin, itching the skin for almost 24 hours.
It felt as if I needed to pull my skin off.
Oh.
Because, and if you would rub it, just rub it because you did the urge to scratch, it would come up in like a nettle rash. In America we call it hives. A little puppy could come up and maybe jump up on me, and again you'd have streaks all the way down. Streaks across my face if you know, something would pass by it, a branch going out on a walk. And it was awful, awful feeling.
Yeah. And you had your amalgam removed